Hey everybody, it's Tim and John here with another weekly sip. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Tim.
How are you?
I am well today. Thank you very much. I'm actually very excited today. We're having the opportunity to taste and discuss one of the foundation wines of my own, and I think most folks' fine wine appreciation travels. Especially when it comes to red wine, and that is Chianti Classico.
Yeah, it's a favorite of mine, has been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a versatile wine with food, and I really enjoy the complex flavors of the region and this type of wine. So tell us about it.
Sure.
What's going on here?
Absolutely. So today we're very happy to be introducing a brand new Chianti Classico to the Binends stable. It's from a producer by the name of Villa Collazzi. Villa Collazzi down here. And this happens to go by the name of Bastioni del Collazzi, Chianti Classico. And this winery happens to belong to the Association of Gallinero, which is that little black rooster that's on the back there, indicating that, all in all, that it kind of complies to and kind of falls within the realm of traditional, classically made Chianti Classico.
How is it farmed?
Villa Collazzi is particularly interesting in the sense that it's a property that has its history basically dates back to the 16th century. The property itself was designed by Michelangelo, of all people, and
You don't get that history with domestic wines, do you?
yeah, you don't see that.
We don't see Michelangelo over here in the States
Mm-hmm.
cutting up California.
So it was Michelangelo who designed this essentially masterpiece of a villa that sits on top of a beautiful hillside located probably about 5 miles to the south and just a little bit to the west of Florence itself. The property itself is like 950 some odd acres,
Wow.
but only about 70 of them are actually dedicated to vine. The balance, they're used for olive groves and other type of farming and the like. And of those 17 acres of vineyards, only 17 of them are actually fall within the Chianti Classico zone. The balance of their vineyards fall within what's called the Chianti Colli Fiorentini zone, which means it's just those vineyards are a little bit just indicates just how close to Florence this particular estate is located. So,
What does Classico mean? What's the
Classico.
designation?
A lot of people think that it's a style, but in fact, Classico is the designated region where Chianti was classically produced, and it's an area that sits kind of centrally situated within Tuscany proper, south of Florence, down towards Siena, and is kind of surrounded by other Chianti zones such as Chianti Fiorentini, Chianti Colli Senesi, Chianti Colli Lucchese near Lucca, and so forth and so on. But Classico is just an indication that these wines are from the area where Chianti really emerged.
Gotcha.
and became what it is today.
Education's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this estate is still to this day family owned and operated.
Wow.
It was purchased by the Marche family in 1933 and was run as an operational farm and was producing wine along with olive oil and all sorts of other various different things. The actual Collazzi name, as far as a label, really only dates to around 1990. Okay. So before that, it was they were part of the local kind of local agro economy, and wines were bought and sold locally along with all of their other things that they produced. Today, it's the family. The family business is run by two brothers.
Okay.
It's essentially Carlo and Bona Marche. Yeah, that's their names.
Love it.
And starting in basically at the turn of this last century, in the late 1990s, through 2005, when they hired their current winemaker, a gentleman by the name of Alberto Torelli, they saw the opportunity and the emergence of Chianti Classico, not just in the Italian marketplace, but throughout the world. And so they invested a ton of money into modernizing their cellars and bringing all of their vineyards kind of up to current viticultural and vinification practices. Collazzi is one of the kind of up and coming leaders within the category, and it's a name that's being widely recognized for its quality. The price still hasn't caught up to that quality level, and so it represents a tremendous value.
Nice.
And it's a wine that from the moment we had the opportunity to taste this particular vintage, was something that I just put the bullseye on and said, we got to get this in house. We got to get this in house. Yeah. So just taking a look at it, here in the glass, you'll see it's got kind of a deep plum garnet hue to it, a little bit more opaque than some Chianti Classicos.
Yeah, you can see some light through it.
Yep. I mean, as with most, pretty much as with all Chianti Classico, the wine is predominantly Sangiovese, 80%, and you're getting that deeper extracted hue and color from the addition of about 18%, give or take a couple points, of Merlot, which is allowed within the appellation, and then a 2%, give or take, a little splash, just a little spice touch of Malvasia Nero, which is a traditional grape variety used in production of these wines.
And the Merlot kind of takes those hard edges off the Sangiovese.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right.
Makes it palatable
for
most people.
What Collazzi is doing here is they've created a wine that is really representative of what true great Chianti Classico is all about. So it's got it still falls within kind of like the historic framework of what Chianti Classico. It's going to pair with the local cuisine. It's got the acidity of Sangiovese that makes it a really great wine when paired with various different proteins. Everything from you don't have to go out and try to make Tuscan steaks or anything like that, but whatever you happen to be preparing at home.
I've heard that fava beans go really well with Chianti.
Yeah, don't knock it till you tried it.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Couldn't help it.
But along with that, the addition of the Merlot adds a little bit of mid-palate texture, a little lushness,
silkiness on the tongue.
Exactly, along with a little bit more fruit-forward qualities to it.
Yep.
You combine that with the kind of modern wine making techniques that are used here. It's stainless steel fermentation, temperature controlled, aged in small barriques and barrel for a period of like 15 months, nice. and then aged for a period of time in bottle before it's released. And you really get the best of the old, best of the new, all kind of combined here, all in one bottle of wine. And for that, this is my my pick of the week for and probably for many weeks to come for Chianti Classico here at Binends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I gotta taste it sometimes in the morning before I smell it. Oh, it's nice. I mean,
it's delicious.
It's really, really good. This is a sustainable vineyard. We talked about that a little bit last week. And what that means is that they are trying their hardest to work with the land and work with the equipment that they have. They're not necessarily organic because they do use some pesticides, but it is farmed in a way that is beneficial to the environment. It
Absolutely.
is sustainable farming.
Essentially, it's their approach, their philosophy is to make certain to, on a year-by-year basis, make the best wine possible according to what the what the conditions will allow on a year-to-year basis.
Yeah.
So, and most folks think of Italy and they think of it as a Mediterranean climate. In fact, Tuscany in this particular area in Chianti Classico is considered to be continental. It's further enough inland, and with the the elevation with the hills and the like, you have an area which is quite cold, gets a lot of snow in the wintertime, while being hot and dry in the summer. Exactly.
Good for the vines.
Yeah.
We've got to torture them a little bit.
Absolutely.
Make sure they're happy. Price point. What are we talking? What's
Sure.
the deal?
Oh, absolutely. So that's the other great thing about this wine. You're going to see it typically retailing for around $24, $25 a bottle. Our single bottle price every day, just as kind of stopping by the store to grab a bottle, would be $19.60. And we're currently running this as an email feature at $16.80 on a 3-pack, so 3 or more bottles. This wine comes in considerably less than under $18 a bottle.
Yeah.
For
some really fantastic Chianti.
Blue chip Chianti Classico.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just one of those wines that you can put in your collection and serve it whenever you want to. I mean, I don't need food for this. It would be nice, but you can just drink this.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to wrap up this edition of the Weekly Sip with John. Kara's back next week. We try to flop it here and there.
Sounds like a plan.
Keep you all happy. Stop in the store. We have this available for tasting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, along with our other tasting that we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
We've reinstituted the tasting counters, and we'll be publishing the schedule of what we're tasting each week in the store. So if you like coming in and having a sip on us, please do so. We got some things lined up that we think you're going to really like.
Sure.
To taste.
I think pretty much you'll be able to count on whatever the daily email feature is that day, on any particular day. That will be one of the wines we'll be featuring at the counter.
Yep.
And there's, in all likelihood, going to be an extra 1 or 2 things available to try before you buy as well.
Yeah.
So
come on in, have a sip on us, and talk to us about the wines that you love. We love talking to you about what you're looking for, how to pair it, all that stuff. So come on in, talk to us, and we will see you next week for another episode of Weekly Sip.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Bing.
First time I tried this wine, I enjoyed it so much, it blew all my hair off.